So it's UK. So usually most of you mo fẹ́ ta sí you. I want to mo fẹ́ ta sí. So usually most of you actually feel like being a carer, relocating to UK as a carer is the easiest. My dear, yeah, it's actually the easiest because that's the one you actually know about. Because the thing is, what you don't know about, you cannot have an idea about it. Okay, we all know, because I know that almost all of you that you're watching me, you've heard about the UK care job, you've know how much they're paying and everything. We all know that the minimum for that tier 2 UK care job is how much? 20,480. That is the minimum according to the visa requirement. But to move to UK as a chef or cook, the minimum requirement is 23,000 23,000 pounds. I've not even checked the one that required for the 23,000 pounds. So look at the difference. You will travel to UK to go and cook bed, to go and cook it, to go and cook everything, and they'll be paying you how much minimum wage. Whereas in this one, you can just go and cook food, call this one, just do this thing. I'm not trying to discourage being a carer and being a this thing, because like I used to tell you, there is nothing wrong in doing a dirty job or in doing any of this job. But what is wrong is when you are not actually getting absolute value for it. For example, excuse me if I want to do dirty job, as long as you are paying me my money, to buy when you pay me black monkey, to buy when me if you like tell me my forehead is too big, it's not concern me as long as I'm getting paid for it. You understand? There's nothing wrong in being a carer, but as long as I'm getting enough pay, enough benefit for it, you can say anything you like. That one is your business. It's my money that I am facing. So now I've actually seen videos of where carers, UK carers complain, or they're tired of the job, the clinic on what they face and everything. I'm like, is it one bishop imagine that you have to be a carer? Did they tell your neck and your destiny for you to be a carer? Why can't you try this one, try this one? But it's not like, people did not know about it, you cannot blame them. So guys, I'm here to talk to you about how to become a chef or a cook in the UK. And for me to come and talk about this occupation, that means of course they offer tier 2 visa sponsorship. We all know that UK used to do a lot of unfortunately, but with this chef and cook this thing, there is no, you will get unfortunately, yes, but it did not pour. You should know that I cannot call dog for you monkey. You will get unfortunately, but it is not as much as you, and that's because that care job, everybody's just moving there. Qualified, no qualified, this one, down. So this one. So another thing why actually prompts me to talk about this is, for that UK care job, sometimes even if you're lucky you get a tier 2 sponsor and everything, you have to fend for your accommodation. Most times now you have to fend for your accommodations, you have to fend for your family, how to clinic. You see this chef one, from the job vacancies I've seen, from comparing this, you guys know before I will come and talk about anything, you people know that I used to use job website as my guide. I used to check their requirement, their this thing, all those job websites. I'll combine all their requirements before I come and talk about, so that I will know what I'm saying, that okay, I'm sure of what I'm saying. So from the job websites that I've seen their job requirement, those websites say that they offer tier 2 visa sponsorship. 98.9% of time of them, they actually offer accommodation. People should be listening. They actually offer living accommodation. That one aside, they actually offer food as well. You know that in care job too, they can give you food, but that food is going to, maybe they just gave you coffee, they just gave you bread, because though some care home used to cook, but then they cannot be cooking because of you. But then when you are working as a chef, you are working inside the kitchen. Even when you are boiling meat, I can't get your concern. Even when you are frying dodo, I can't. That can still, but you understand what I'm trying to say. You cannot be working in a restaurant, be magpie. So you have food, morning, afternoon, this thing. You have this, and aside that, even when they give you accommodation, you know that sometimes even when you don't feel like cooking or anything, even when you want to go and buy food at the restaurant, you have employee discount. For example, if you are selling food for £1, they can sell for you 0.00, depending on your chefability, depending on your level. Don't go and steal food there. If they catch you, they will deport you back to Nigeria. If they ask you why did they deport you, as food plenty for Nigeria, you won't go dey steal food for UK. But I'm sure telling you that, you got me. You know, if you're working in a care home, you cannot take somebody's medication or somebody's skin. But then in the restaurant, you see all those food that is remaining. Are you even asking me? Sometimes they will cook food, maybe the main one that they did not buy. Where do you think it's going to? They don't used to sell it for the next day. Who will eat it? My dear, even if it's only that one gun that they should be waiting for food to finish, even if it's only that one, my dear, it's okay to be a chef. Because once you move outside the country, especially to a country like UK, once God have helped you to remove accommodation and food, which other problem do you have in this life again? Which other problem do you have again aside tax? So once you pay your tax, you know that your accommodation is sorted, your food is sorted, because food is the okun of the kinikon. Can you now see? Free food, free accommodation, and then they have other employment benefit as well. And of course, depending on the employee, the person you're working with, right? But there are some restaurants that they are very stingy with food. They'll tell you not to touch their food. But others abroad people, they are not really selfish with food. Well, there's no how, even if it's one chips like this, you shall see to enter your mouth. And you will shall, well, I don't, my one thing I shall know is, don't go and steal. Don't go and steal. If they give you, take. If they say, take this, me I shall that they will give you free food. Normal, this and kinikon. And that is one of those things you should discuss during your interview. Talk about your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, your supper, your dessert, your kini, because you deserve it. And in that view, that means you don't have to be any baby chef. You have to be a top-notch chef. Anyways, let's talk about it. So there are actually 8 ways in which you can actually move to UK as a chef or cook. Before I continue, there's a difference between a chef or a cook. You can move to UK. You can't move to UK as a cook, but you can move to UK as a chef. So if you are inside UK, you can get a visa sponsorship as a cook. But it is not easy to get a visa sponsorship outside UK as a chef. And that's because cook is just more like all these alagbasi that they're just there. You just know how to cook. Cook is just your hobby, right? Whereas a chef is more like a qualified somebody. But then they actually used to use cook and chef interchangeably. So you can actually be a chef, but then you try to advance yourself somehow and call yourself a chef. Anyways, we'll be talking about everything and also the visa requirement. So there are actually 8 ways in which you can actually move to UK as a cook or a chef to be eligible for Tier 2 visa sponsorship. Okay. So the first one is university course. Maybe you're going to study a university course in culinary art, hospitality, management, food and nutrition, professional cookery, anything relating to food, anything food, sha. But in that sense to say, it's actually a waste of time. Going to be university to study that one is a waste of time. If you've studied it, fine. God have helped you. But if you've not studied it, don't bother wasting your time. Oh my yummy. University degree is actually a waste in this department of this thing. You don't need it. So the next one is going to college. Going to college to study any of these courses I've mentioned: culinary, hospitality, food and nutrition, management, or anything. If you've studied it, fine. If you've not studied it, don't bother. It's a waste of time and waste of money. The next on my list is apprenticeship. This one is if you go to one place to go and learn work. For example, if you see all these restaurants, right, and then you go there for you to go and learn how to cook, how to attend to people, and in this view you are not actually getting paid, more like a volunteer work. You actually learn. That one you are safe, but keep watching. Then the next one on my list is vocational school, and that's like the best of the best, but then keep watching. So vocational school is when you actually go to a vocational school, vocational training school, where they teach professional cookery, and you learn. Usually it's always between 1 year or 24 months in UK, but in Nigeria it's always 6 months, 1 year, depending on fast track, because they used to have fast track, slow track, this one, all the track that you can share. They used to have different this thing for it. So the next one on my list is freelance cook. That's the 5th one, which is freelance cook. That one is if you are just a freelance cook, you just enjoy cooking, cooking is your hobby, God just gave you naturally to know how to cook. People will buy. I have a food channel, I should tell me so for enough. Make sure you can subscribe. So if you are just a natural cook, you just learn how to cook by naturally. Then the next one on my list is vocational plus apprenticeship. So this one is if you go to vocational school and then you go to a restaurant or a company to actually go and volunteer how to work, how to have the experience. Then the sixth one is online courses. You don't have anything, then decide to do online courses. There are so many places you can do online courses for. You can do from Alexi, you can do from Florence Academy. Yeah, for UK we have so many online courses. That one you just sit down in your house because you not come to this life to suffer. You just decide to do food courses, food catering course, any event, clinic, you should decide to do it. Then the next one on my list, the seventh one, is vocational school plus experience. Vocational school plus online courses plus experience. So this one is if you actually go to vocational school, you actually go to a restaurant to go and volunteer, and then you decide to do online courses. Then the last but not the least is if you actually have the relevant degree and then you decide to go for volunteer. So maybe you did food and nutrition, food, anything relating to food, hospitality and everything, and then you decide to get a restaurant and go and volunteer to actually work with them, to actually get experience with them. So those are the 8 major ways in which you can actually move to UK as a chef with tier 2 visa sponsorship. This is not limited to, you can combine any one. So out of what this 8 method, right, it's more than 8. Okay, out of all this method, because the thing is you can decide to combine this one and this one together, this one and this one together. So let's just say it's 10 combination. So out of all this method, which one is the best and which one is more advisable? The best one for you is going to a vocational school, having a paid experience and online course. That is the best for you. So we have different types of vocational schools. Let me use Nigeria as example. We have some people that is doing all these 5k online classes that they will take you to a WhatsApp group, they will teach you how to cook. I'm not talking about that one. But if you've had that one, fine, you can add it to your CV, but that's not the one we're talking about. Another view, we have some people that is doing vocational course. Maybe they are selling food, buy your food, order your for these Instagram vendors, and then they organize online class for you to come to their kitchen to come and learn, maybe for like 1 month or this thing. Those personal private vendors. So if you have that one, fine, but we are not talking about that one. It is fine, but you know that I'll tell you what is achievable and what is not achievable. It is good though if you have it, but if you've had it, fine. But if you've not had it, mash it. So which one is the best and best for you? The best and best and best and bestest for you, that when you apply for job, when you did that, they will not have reason to give you, unfortunately, that the embassy will not have any reason to question your visa and say, sorry, why do you deserve this, is going to a vocational training school in your home country. We have some, I'm talking about school, the real school. For example, in Nigeria, vocational school is actually regulated by NAPTEB, right? That's Nigerian Board of Technical School, something like that. Yeah, the real vocational school. You can go to, we have public vocational school, we have private vocational school, we have federal. In my subsequent videos, I'm making a list of vocational schools in Nigeria that you can go to. This school, go. And that one, they used to have like vocational training school. I'm not talking about all these private people that they will just start their own business. Some people they are doing online course for you. They never register their restaurant business and they are doing training for you. So how you want to verify them? So it's always better. That's why I've told you, if you're in Nigeria, the regulatory body of vocational school in Nigeria is NAPTEB. Is it NAPTEB? Yeah, NAPTEB, Nigerian Clinic and Technical School. Yeah, they're the ones in charge of technical schools in Nigeria. So if you know you want to move to Nigeria, outside the country, abroad, as a chef or cook, you have to like go that extra mile. So usually you can get 6 months duration, 1 year, less than that, depending. That's why I say in my subsequent videos, I've been listing schools that you can this thing. So another thing is, if you know how to cook, or you've gone for all this online 5k WhatsApp training and everything, the thing is, when you actually go to this vocational school, they can actually fast track it, because you are not a learner, right? For example, maybe they are using 1 year before, and somebody that is coming newly, since maybe you know how to, for example, somebody like me now, I might just go there to just go and get the certificate, so they can fast track it for you somehow. Maybe instead of 1 year, do 6 months, anything, depending on what you negotiate with the school, depending on the experience you have. Then another thing, one thing that I noticed is, there was another country that I was trying to check how to migrate to that country as a chef, and they actually pay well. For example, now I actually have my YouTube channel. I spent 5 years, right, in my YouTube channel. 5 years on my food channel. I spent 5 years there. So when I was actually checking the requirements, I went to the embassy website and everything. Do you guys actually know that I can use my YouTube experience to actually get this job? Do you know that? But then, you know that I've been on YouTube. My experience is what they can see. They can see how I plate food, how I cook food, how I respond to my viewers, how I used to give them buzz in that big government. If I'm gagan, well, if you come and tell me nonsense, that my friend does, but they know that really bad nonsense. So that one is visible for them to see. So usually when they want to tell you for you to move outside the country as a clinical, you have to have paid experience. I have a YouTube channel. I've been cooking there for over 5 years, and I was actually paid for it. YouTube actually paid me. Now paid the experience, I've been not be paid the experience. No, not paid the experience, I've been not be paid the experience. So the guys actually say, so in that view, if I was actually to move to the UK with that, I can use my YouTube experience. Of course, I have my pay slip for YouTube. I've been on YouTube as a cook for the past 5 years and everything, but then it is not really enough. You are paid it because I have that experience as a volunteer or apprentice, or just like natural. That's what I like doing. So I need a certificate to actually back it up. But then it's actually equivalent to is equivalent, but just be on the safe side, right? Somebody like me, I can just decide to now do online course or Alexi influence. I can just to boost my points. In that view, immigration will not ask me any question because they can see what I do. My YouTube channel is there. Can you pay clinical? But now I'm not gonna get reference. I'll tell them to go ask YouTube. So in that view, I'll just do online course or just go to a technical school just to be on the more safer side. So if you have YouTube experience, cooked experience, even if you have a restaurant, it is not a waste, right? But then it's always important to actually have the relevant MVQ qualification, right? So if you have real life experience, maybe you've worked in a restaurant before, you've been a chef, you've worked in a restaurant before, you have your own food company, you have your own, maybe you sell food. In that view, just do online course, or this online course, and apply to it. But you will get plenty, unfortunately. So your best bet is actually getting a vocational school. But I've told you 2 ways. So if you have your own business as a cook, or you are selling food, or you've worked in a restaurant before, right? You can collect reference letter from your employer that I've worked in the restaurant, I've done all this and all of that. You can decide to go for the online course and do it, then add it together and apply for the job. But your chances are kind of slim, especially if you don't have relevant degree. So if you have a degree in food, hospitality, food and nutrition, and anything, you don't have to go to any school again. Do you guys understand my explanation? If you have a degree or any qualification that is relating to food, hospitality, I've mentioned it earlier, right? All those courses I mentioned earlier, and you had paid experience as working as a restaurant or having your own business, then the only thing you need to do extra is just to do online course, UK online course, to just boost your CV, and that is a safety. But if you don't have relevant degree, relevant certificate, you not go to school of anything relating to food, right? In that view, you have to go to a technical school in your own country, food technical school, where you will learn it in real life, that they will give you certificate. School regulated by a body, not private company, right? You can do private too, but Now I used to say, just to be on a safe side, you can do private as well. Yeah, you can actually do private as well. So all these private bodies that is actually organizing food, kinikon, you can actually go. But then in that view, you have to be sure of who you are going to. Make sure their business is registered. Make sure that their business is registered. Make sure that, and in that view, make sure that they will teach you local dishes, they will teach you intercontinental, they will teach you all these basic class. Like any this thing you be going, make sure that you be going to a class setting, normal setting, not all those ones that you be doing online, 5k, kinikon. Normal school. So we have some private owned technical schools like that, like they have normal class. So I think I've seen a couple of them on Instagram or something like that, right? So make sure you're going to a normal gidigba school that they will issue you a certificate. In that view, they'll teach you all the basic things about being a chef, a clinic or anything. But somehow I think it's always expensive. So that's how I only advise going to a vocational training school. Then what else? Then whether you have the experience, whether you are doing online, whether you are doing volunteer, whether you are doing paid experience, all of you actually need to have one important this thing is basic food hygiene, health and safety certificate too, right? Basic food hygiene, health and safety certificate, it is very compulsory. So regardless of any route you are coming through, vocational, degree, college, whatever, online course, extra online course, you need basic food hygiene, then health and safety certificate. So now if you're actually in the UK, right, you're already in the UK and you actually want to apply for this job, your own is even the easiest, because if you're actually in the UK, the only thing you have to do is just go online, do courses on Alexin or Florence Academy, and in that view, you just add your normal volunteer experience that you cook for your father, you cook for your grandmother, you cook for your this thing, and then apply for a job because you're already in the UK. It's easy for you because this restaurant as well, they actually train you for the job, right? So if you are in UK, you have more edge than people outside UK. But then if you're outside UK, you have to get all the qualifications, the relevant educational qualifications, the relevant experience. But if you're inside UK, whether you have paid the experience or not, just make sure you do the online certificate and make sure to have basic food hygiene, health and safety. Add it to your certificate, CV, and apply for it. That is it. But in that view, they will not hire you as a chef. I'm talking to people inside UK. They will not hire you as a chef. They will hire you as a cook. And if they hire you as a cook, your pay is actually low, right? Because they want to train you for a number of time. Your pay will be low, and their minimum pay is between 15,000 to 25,000 for a cook. The pay is low, but then depending on the number of years of experience. For example, with my 5 years on YouTube now, if I'm actually inside UK and I want to apply for this job, right, what I'll do is I'll do the online course, my basic certificate and everything. I'll do it. I'll go apply for it. So if they give me post of cook, I'll say, excuse me, I've been serving the public for the past how many? I have viewers from US, from UK, from Canada, and it's true. I have my analytics. I will show them from Canada, from this one, from that one. I've been serving the public, worldwide public. We got an restaurant. Have you served people in US before? So everything is about selling yourself. You got me? I have viewers from all over the world. I want to come and give you post of cook. My dear, I'm a chef. Call yourself a chef. So they will increase your pay. You got me? So that's just it. So what is the visa requirements? Basically, the normal tier 2 visa requirement. I have a video where I've talked about UK work visa requirement from Nigeria. I'll put in the link in my description box. Just click UK as a playlist. Then any video, you actually see the all the requirement. So another thing that you need is possibly English proficiency exam, because in this view you have to be conversing with the British. Yeah, so after all these requirements, you have to fulfill the tier 2 visa requirement, which is English proficiency. So if you have a degree, you can do UK NAIRA instead of IELTS. If you don't have, you have to do IELTS, but the IELTS that they require is like 4.0, right? And then you can do these companies too, they can have their own English test, foundation course or anything like that. Then another thing is driver's license. You don't need driver's license for this one because you're inside your house, so you're inside the restaurant. So and that's it. So that's everything you need to know about being a carer in the UK. So guys, this is something you really want to try. So if you know that, because the thing is, I know that most of it that is actually going to UK. It's not as if that job, most of you cannot do it. We know the truth, you can't do it. So if you know you can't do it, cooking is another thing to consider, and cooking is a lifetime skills, because you can even actually advance in your career. There are so many countries that pays very well for chef. In fact, there are so many countries that when you're actually a chef in their country, right, you even earn more money than being a nurse. They will go for how many years, all those stress, you actually even earn more than them. They pay chef so well, so well. So it is not like, what's that, it's actually a good course, right? So if you know you can't go for this care job, we know that you can't really go for it. If you know you can go for it, just try this, right? But then, regardless of all the distance I've given, you can still be applying for job, but I've told you your best bet. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.